podcast. It's been a while since I made a podcast. Reason being, I was just busy, and well, there's a few reasons. I was busy with school and work, of course, like I've said before. It's the end of the semester, so got all these projects and stuff due. It's kind of trash. Okay. Um. Anyway, that and I was getting some stuff in the house fixed. Older episode, I kind of mentioned having my AC being out and living in Texas. That's not fun. I got kind of lucky because it's winter past a little bit of time, but it's starting to get hotter again, and yeah, so I needed to get that fixed, and so I finally got it fixed this week. So we're good. Feels great in here. We are not complaining anymore. Um, yeah, but to that's just to preface what I've been doing. I uh I did finish watching the David Lynch movies. The Lynchathon is over after today. I'll get into a little bit more about David Lynch at the end, but I do want to say I started Twin Peaks finally, like a couple weeks ago. I'm already almost done with season two, and I still gotta watch, of course, Fire Walk with Me, The Missing Pieces, and The Return. But I bought a box set, so it has everything on it. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, I can't find this or I can't find that. It's got everything on it. So we're gonna get that done, and I don't know. I'm definitely gonna talk about it when I finish it. Like mention about how I felt about Twin Peaks. That's gonna be something that I do, but it's technically the end of the Lynchathon because it's not. I'm not a thawning Lynch anymore, even though I kind of am because I'm still watching Twin Peaks and I'm gonna like marathon Twin Peaks. So it's kind of like, are you doing Lynchathon or you're not doing it? But I'll take my time. However long it takes me. So if it's not like if it's like next month or the month after that I finally am finishing everything, that's when I'll talk about it. Um, so yeah, after I finished all the movies, I wasn't fully convinced that Lynch was like one of my favorite directors. I thought he was really great, and I liked a lot of his movies. But after starting Twin Peaks, man, this is just the preface to Twin Peaks when I get into it, whenever I do. But man, I love this show. It is so good. I feel like it's gonna be a comfort show for me, honestly. Like I feel like it's something that I'll just put on whenever. I love the town. I love the characters. As someone who has dealt with a lot of grief in their life, I connect so much with this town and the characters. It's honestly amazing, and it's skyrocketed Lynch up there, and I can only imagine how much better it gets as you go on. Like the original series is really good. I love it. Like I said, that feels like a comfort show for me. But then we're gonna get into like Fire Walk with Me and The Return. I hear The Return is literally one of the best thing Lynch has done in his entire career. So I'm very very excited to see how that turns out. As you can see, I actually have a little David Lynch homage right here. You can kind of barely see it. It is David Lynch passing you the blunt. Because I feel like if David Lynch passed you the blunt, you'd have to take it. But really, what would be happening is you would be smoking a blunt and you would set it down and then you would look over and David Lynch would be passing it back to you. Even though he's dead, right? He would be passing it back to you. That's the only way it would happen. And if that happens, I don't know, man. You might be up there with friggin' Prince, Juice World. But no, that would be an amazing scenario if that were to happen. But all right, let's get into these reviews. First, we got The Straight Story. Straight Story is about it's based on a true story about a guy who traveled on a lawnmower from I want to say Iowa to Wisconsin. I don't remember exactly, but cross state lines for sure to visit his brother. Um, yeah, I mean that's kind of the sweet story that it's based on. I had read a little small synopsis on this before I watched it. It's one of the few ones that I had actually read something about before. Um, I heard it was one of Lynch's more accessible works, like similar to Elephant Man, and I would agree with that. I thought this was a really sweet movie. Uh, Something that I felt like not necessarily was bad, but something that I kind of picked up on as someone who likes to write films and likes to work on film. I felt like it had a lot of Hollywoodisms in it, if that makes any sense. Like more like storytelling things, like things that happened in the story that I'm like, I'm not sure if this happened in real life, like specifically the part with the pregnant runaway. Like, did that happen? I don't know. I'm not gonna do the research either. Like, I don't like a guy that does research. I'm a college student. Um, yeah, I don't know if it happened, but it played out well. Everything played out so well. I do know that he did break down at one point, but like the way but the way he frames everything is like, I don't know if that's exactly how it happened. And that's okay though. I mean, I'm not saying it was a problem at all. I'm just saying like I picked up on it. Um, I thought it was really sweet. Actually, I thought it was really funny when she was hitchhiking, right? She got her thumb out. Hey, I need a ride. Got the lawnmower passes by, and she just kind of like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good." I thought that was hilarious. Really laughing out loud, dude. Like, yeah, he could be a freaking serial killer. He kind of looks like a serial killer. If you didn't know him, like he could be like this dude who's been killing for generations, right? But it's just a sweet old guy who wants to go see his brother. Um, let's see. The scene in the bar, a little bit further on, after he breaks down, he's stuck in his town for a little while with a cavalcade of funny Lynch characters, right? Including two twin brothers who just like go back and forth. Um, but one of the characters in the old town, I mean, in the town is this old guy, kind of similar in age to the main character, and he's like, "Let's go get a drink," The main guy, he doesn't drink. I think his name's Robert Strait. He doesn't drink, but oh, we'll go down there. Sure, I like to hang out with people, and they just have this beautiful scene in the bar where, because they're both similar in age, so they had to have fought in the same war. A lot of older people, especially in the 90s, right? They all, I mean, really, any time recently, older people have always just fought in wars. It's like just war after war after war. I'm not gonna talk about the war right now, but they get into the bar and they start telling war stories, and it's just really, really sweet, um, and really sad. The things they share, and there's so much subtext, so much, like they say so much about their experiences, but so much of what is really said is just below the surface, and you can feel it, and the long stares, and it was a beautiful, beautiful scene. Then you get into the end of the movie, right? And the whole movie is building towards him and his brother seeing each other again. By the way, if you see me looking up, it's because I have like a new monitor system set up, so I can monitor my video a little bit better. Um, anyway, I think the last scene is completely genius because, like I said, you're building up this whole time to the brothers meeting again. Are they gonna cry? Are they gonna fight? Are they not gonna say anything to each other and leave? But no, they literally. He gets there, he sits up on the porch with them, and they just don't say anything, and the movie ends in silence. And I think it's completely genius. I loved it. Perfect way to end this movie. Y'all hear the bird, the little guest speaker? He was just whistling. Um, I'll say it's not my favorite Lynch movie by a long shot. Even as far as his accessible movies go, this is probably my least favorite one. I really loved Elephant Man. Elephant Man was a beautiful film to me. I like I said, it really moved me to tears. And this movie didn't necessarily move me to tears, but it was really sweet and it was an enjoyable film. That's another thing I would really change about this movie. Just well told, sweet movie that I think anyone could watch and get something out of. It touches so much on love and family and aging and acceptance and mortality. All these great themes, and it touches on all of them so well, honestly. So I really think pretty much show it to anybody and they would get something out of it if they were able to get past the premise. But then you got to explain, like, this happened in real life. Like, this guy really did this. He went and traveled on a lawnmower. That was real. So I think anyone can get something out of this. I have to give it about a 6 out of 10. Uh, wasn't amazing, didn't blow my socks off, but it wasn't bad at all. It was a good film, well made, uh, well enough made to be above average to me. But I think that might be my lowest Lynch score. I don't sit here and remember all my scores, but I think that might be the lowest one. Oh wait, no, I don't know. I forget what I rated Eraserhead, but Eraserhead was fun, but man, I don't know. It was just so anxiety inducing. But anyway, that was the straight story. Next, we're gonna get into Mulholland Drive. Mulholland Drive. This is one of those ones that you hear about, right? Like I've heard about a few Lynch movies before, like this one, Racerhead, and I think Dune. That's probably all the ones that I heard about. Oh, there's the dog. He's in a shot, guys. He's in a shot. I think it's the first time he's appeared on video. Hey, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Yeah, yeah. Get down. Get down. Anyway, so this is one of those ones you hear about, and when people talk about David Lynch, Mulholland Drive for sure. And so yeah, I heard about it. I didn't know anything about it though. Like I didn't like with the last one. I didn't read a synopsis on Mulholland Drive. I went in completely blind, and it was the complete opposite of the straight story, right? You go to the straight story, then you go to Mulholland Drive. You're just like, oh, like was that like a was he just bored and he wanted to make that other movie? Like what was that? But it was still good, right? So you go into this one and it's just complete 180 to what you just watched. But right off the bat, pretty much you can tell that David Lynch is back in this world that he does so well in, fits right at home in. Like I've said before, this dream-like. God, I wish you could see what the dog is doing. Just in this dreamlike, nightmarish world that he conveys so well. Um, Something that I love about Lynch's work, especially when you get into the later ones, but it kind of is sprinkled throughout, like even in Blue Velvet and I think Wild at Heart and Lost Empire or not Lost Empire, Lost Highway. It's like he kind of portrays it as like these gangster characters, right? But there's like always this dark looming force that kind of like is following you around the whole time, right? And this movie has it really, really bad. Not, I mean, like a lot. Not like it's bad, but like it has a lot of that. And yeah, so but I love that because it really speaks to like a nightmare where there's just like something off and you can tell there's like looking over your shoulder but you don't know what is exactly there, right? I love that. um I really love the characters in this a lot. Like I think as far as any characters in any of his movies, these are some of my favorite ones. Like the director character, his storyline was laugh out loud funny to me. Like I was dying laughing through some of his scenes. And then but like he just goes through the worst day ever for him, I'm sure, but he just keeps going and I love that. I love the journey of the two main girls, her trying to find her identity. But I didn't even say what this is about. It's about a girl who loses her identity, well, loses her memory, and she has to try to find out who she is again. And so like it literally gets rug pulled from under you and you find out the whole movie is a freaking like imagination dream. uh But yeah, you follow these two girls as they try to help her find her identity again. And I was so entranced by this plot. I was like so obsessed with trying to find out who she was. I was so obsessed with this, but then only, like I said, to get to the end of the movie and you find out that it's just not real and she's a completely different person than who you were made to believe that she might be. I was like, oh my God. But all the plots are great. If anything, it wasn't anything that I was put off by any of these plots. If anything, I wanted more of some of them, like Mark Pellegrino as a freaking dumb hitman who could barely kill people, or he killed a lot of people, but he was really bad at it. Like this scene where he kills the dude, right? And then the neighbor, oh no, he tries to like set it up as a suicide, right? Gun goes off, boom, into the neighbor's apartment. He's like, oh shit. Goes over there, has to kill the neighbor, has to drag her literally across the hallway into the room so he can make it look like a homicide suicide. Gets seen by a freaking janitor. Like this dude just is bad at this, completely bad. So like I wish we had more of him. He shows up a few times, But I would like I said, I wish there was more of him. Uh, the film had some crazy jump scares. Like Lynch doesn't do a lot of jump scares, and it's not really his thing. His thing is definitely more psychological. But man, that scene in the outside the diner, I don't have to tell about. I don't have to tell you about it. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you need to watch the movie. But the scene outside the diner, man, I tell you, I literally like almost screamed, and I almost never have like visceral reactions like that to jump scares and stuff. But I almost screamed, but it was late at night, so I couldn't do it. It's like, oh man, I don't want to wake up my wife. That then there's this jump scare. Yeah, this guy right here. You know, you literally get you think you're in for a crazy Lynch movie, but then you get jump scared by Achy Breaky Heart. I was like so caught off guard by that. I was like, is that is that Hannah Montana's dad? Like, oh my God, I had no idea he was in this. Like, no, like I said, I didn't know anything. So I'm just watching, and all of a sudden, Hannah Montana's dad shows up. I'm like, what the hell? I think that's so cool though that he was able to be in a Lynch movie. Like, that's such a cool thing to have on your resume to me. Um, then you get into the rug being pulled, you know, after the scene in the at the concert, not really concert, but the singing scene. Uh, and then you get back to the apartment, and you end up finding out that it was all just her imagination, and her life is completely different than what you thought it was. And then all these things start coming back in the most horrific way, right? So many like when towards the end of the movie, after the little box, the Pandora's box type thing, and it goes to what was real. My jaw was on the floor the entire time. Like I was not caught off guard per se, but I was just like I was blown away. If anything, that really blew me away. I was like, oh my God, and it just keeps going. Like, oh, not only that, but this and that and that and this. I thought that was so great. And there were so many scary ass parts in the end, dude. Like the old people, like they were already scary in the beginning, right? Like off-putting and unsettling in their actions and stuff. Then they're like these mini freaking creepy ass creatures, and they get into the apartment, they turn big again, and like, dude, that was just so scary. Like that, and the end of that movie was so scary. I loved it though. I was like, I was in for it wholeheartedly. I loved the end of this movie. Um, I got no qualms with this movie at all. Definitely one of the best Lynch films in my opinion, if not the best. 10 out of 10, complete 10 out of 10 for me. Like this is a movie that I think anyone should see, and they would like be freaked out or whatever. Like this is a great movie. Um, then we get into Inland Empire. I would tell you what this movie is about, but I wouldn't really know what to tell you. Um, it is on the base about an actor who gets a part on a new movie, and that's pretty much where the story in this movie ends. Like about an actor getting a part and rehearsing. Once we get into that, there is no more plot to this movie, man. It is just it feels like a vignette, right? It is like a vignette of horror nightmare scenes. But another one I had no idea what I was getting into here. I had heard that it was shot on a camcorder. I was like, that's kind of interesting. I wonder what that looks like. And it looks like it was shot on a camcorder, but I think that I think that's genius, really, because like it speaks to art on a fundamental level, right? Like, hang on, I gotta sneeze. It speaks to art on a fundamental level. It captures like the ability to create in the most generic sense of the word, if that makes sense. Like the fact that he was able to put this to film on a camcorder, and it's this amazing like horror nightmare journey, I think is so amazing because it speaks to it really speaks to his talent, right? Like anybody could grab a camcorder and start filming, and they would get a movie, right? But there's much more artistry to this, much more production on this, like because yeah, it was filmed on a camcorder, but obviously the audio was not captured on a camcorder. Maybe some parts might have been, but for the most part, you can tell the audio is really solid throughout the whole thing, and I think that's what jumps this up, right? Because like if a normal film was shot on a camcorder and you just use the audio the camcorder picked up, it's not gonna sound great. And me and my wife share this opinion. Audio is one of the most important, if not the most important thing about a movie. Of course, I guess the visuals are important, right? But if you don't have good audio, you could have amazing visuals. If your audio is trash, your movie is gonna look like trash because people are gonna hear it like it sounds like trash, right? So that already, like you can tell he put there's work into this, right? And but I also like it's inspiring as someone who doesn't have, a 2000 $5,000 camera. Someone could go shoot a movie like this outside, their house, and it's all about what you're putting into it, what thoughts and ideas and what artistry you're putting into it, because that really is what skyrockets this movie up, right? Because yeah, it's shot on a camcorder, so it doesn't look amazing, but it doesn't have to because it's not supposed to, you know? Like it's not like you're watching a Denis Villeneuve movie, right? Like you're not gonna get these amazing visuals. You're gonna get these creepy, grainy visuals that speak to like creepiness and horror, and it does it so, so well. To me, I feel like this movie is a perfect companion piece to Eraserhead, right? Like Eraserhead, the his first movie, it's obviously got like some things that are not great with it because it's his first one, but it's still really good, really well made. This one is like a accumulation of everything that he's learned throughout his career, and but also like getting back in touch with that unsettling, anxiety inducing feeling. Like all his films have this for the most part, right? But this one is much more like Eraserhead than anything else, and I think that's so great that it's his last film. Even though I would rather, he would have made more, but like a perfect double feature would be Eraserhead and Inland Empire, because you would see the growth completely, and it would be amazing just to watch those two back to back. Um, I love the non-narrative structure of this. Whereas other films kind of felt like dreams, kind of watching from a third person POV. This felt like a nightmare that you were actually trapped in and you could not escape. Every time you thought you were getting to some sort of semblance of plot or anything, you would be like, "Oh no, this is just another part of the nightmare. Help me, please get me out of here." But it was so good. I loved that. Um, oh, I actually didn't write a rating for this, so I guess we'll have to come up with one on the spot. I think this is his most inspired work by far. Uh, like I said, a total accumulation of everything he's learned throughout his career. And some scenes really stick with you. And I think what's perfect or what's great about it is that I think that could be they could be different scenes for anybody. Like for me personally, one of the scenes that stood out was the backyard barbecue scene where like she's talking to those girls, like, like, do you know me or whatever? And then the dude's like, "Oh, where's the ketchup?" And then he like finds the ketchup and just has ketchup all over him. Like, I don't know, man. It felt like a dream that I would personally have. And I think like there's so many scenes like that will speak to different people's dreams. It's so amazing that he did that, right? Honestly, talking about it is more fun than like when I watched it and I just felt like I was trapped in this nightmare. Like, but talking about it and its beautiful artistry, like it really is an amazing movie. Um, Such a crazy experience. Even though it wasn't my favorite Lynch film because it just was like in a sense that like I wouldn't put this on for anybody unless like they were a fan of David Lynch and they knew what they were getting into. Like I don't know who else I would watch this with, man. It is just such a crazy movie. I wouldn't tell anyone to watch it, especially as their introduction to David Lynch. But if you're already into him, You definitely need to watch this if you haven't seen it already. It's really a ride and experience more than just a film. It's its own complete thing. Let's see. I gotta come up with a rating on the spot. I didn't write one. Uh, I think I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. Even though like I said, it wasn't my favorite. Like, it's not one that I feel like I can return to. Maybe I will just to like get that feeling again. It's like a racer. Like I said, you got to be in the mood for it. So I might return to it for that reason. But other than that, like it's not one that I'm just gonna be like, hey, let me watch Inland Empire. I want to watch that right now. It's definitely like a mood you have to be in. Uh, okay, yeah, that was my all my David Lynch reviews so far. Oh shit, I hit the camera. That was all my David Lynch reviews. Uh, yeah, man. Of course, like I said, I'll get back to Twin Peaks at some point. I'm watching it right now, so I will speak on it at some point. But I wrote this down. I kind of wanted to read this out almost verbatim. It was such an honor and experience to watch these films. And of course, like I said, I'm not completely out of the Lynchland yet. I don't think I'll ever truly leave this world. It's ingrained in me now. And I'm so happy about that. I want to thank David Lynch. I know he's somewhere in the ether. I don't know if he can hear me, but I just want to put it out there. Thank you for your art. Thank you for understanding. And there will never be another person like you ever. Um, yeah, so I kind of just wanted to say that it was really on my heart, especially knowing that he's passed recently and that he'll never make art again, and that's really saddening to me. But I'm so happy that we have what we have and that I was able to experience, even if it was a little late, But there's nothing wrong with that, The beautiful thing about art is that it outlives the artist, and you get to have a piece of them forever. And I got him on my wall here, passing me a blunt. So it was really sweet. Um, he, like I said, he just understands it in a way that I don't think a lot of people do. I mean, of course, people that understand it will understand it, but he had this understanding of life and art and sadness and anxiety that he was able to express in the most beautiful ways, and it was a pleasure to be able to watch these films, and it's a pleasure to watch Twin Peaks as I'm watching it now. I'm loving every bit of it. So, yeah. That being said, there will be another a-thon. I will be starting one now. I'll tell you about it. The next a-thon will be a Kubrick-a-thon. Stanley Kubrick, guys. I don't know if you picked up on that from when I said Kubrick, but yes, he is another director I've been interested in watching all his movies. I think I'm gonna keep doing these. Once I finish the Kubrick-a-thon, we'll watch something else. So what I like about these is that I can watch these. It's always like guaranteed content. Like I'll always have something to watch, even if I don't watch anything else. Like I haven't been able to go to the movies recently. I've been busy, but I'll have stuff to watch, and I can talk about it with you guys. Love talking about it with y'all. Um, I've seen a few of his movies already. What was that? I've seen The Shining, of course. Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket, of course, and mm, that might be it. I think that's it. I think that's the only three I've seen. But so I've seen a few of his, but we'll be getting into the rest of them. I'll be starting at the beginning. Um, so we'll go chronologically like I did with this one to see the growth, like I did with Lynch. And I think that's the best way to watch a director's. If you're gonna get into a director like that, for me, in my opinion, it's gonna be watching it in order. So that's what I will be doing. That's pretty much all I got for you guys this week. Next week will be the start of the Kubrickathon. If I watch anything else, you guys will be the first to hear about it. If not, it'll just be some Kubrick movies, and we'll get into that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. It has been my pleasure. My name is Joshua Guerrero, and this has been the